challenges in the current global cold chain?
Well, first of all, is getting people to practice what they have been taught, and to get everybody in the cold chain involved in actually doing what they're supposed to do. The problem is the shortcut is always the easy way out, and with that easy way out and the quick profit that goes out of getting more things done in a shorter period of time, that affects the cold chain.
How do you increase the cold chain cycle, the quality of the cold chain cycle, without having to minimize profits?
There are numerous ways. The most important thing about this is actually getting people to use the appropriate systems, the appropriate tools, the appropriate technology, and to train the people to have that sense of responsibility, the ownership of what they're supposed to do, the job, and to get them involved in it from the very beginning. And if they understand all these things, then and only then would you be able to reduce your costs, become cost effective in other words, and to get what you want, your objectives achieved. Without this, it's no use. You're just throwing away money.
And when it comes to choosing the perfect partner, outsourcing your cold chain's needs, what are some of the key factors that must be taken into account?
I would say the first point that I look at is professionalism. Professionals are able to keep learning. There are people who say they know everything, and that's not true. Technology evolves every moment, even as we speak. Technology improvement. R&D develops into something that can be used. For example, in this conference, we will learn about the new cooling pack that from SEA Cool Logistics people. Such a thing is very revolutionary, but it's effective. At the moment, whether it's going to be cost effective or not depends upon their further development of that product. But the concept is sound, and it would be effective for very sensitive and high end at the moment. But for it to be part of the norm, it will have to be cost effective in the long term.
And what's your outlook for the cold chain pharmaceutical industry in the next 10 years?
10 years is a long time. I would say let's look at it in 5, and there is much still to be developed because of, as I say, climatic conditions, natural disasters and stuff like that. The cold chain is part of the whole supply chain, and if the whole supply chain is interrupted in any way, you will have breaks in the cold chain. And if you have breaks in the cold chain, then you have not achieved your objectives. So it's a fine balance of one way or another. Technology helps, of course, but getting your players, your partners, your contractors, your suppliers all on board, and that would be the ultimate. But I would say 5 years would be, you would see maturing of the industry to see that kind of thing come to some fruition. At the moment, we are moving, but at the moment, everybody's, because of the last year's crisis, they're looking at costs and bottom lines. But if you want to get involved in this totally, then you would see your profits increase in the long term, your cost savings increase in the long term.
And how can a conference such as this help enhance or bridge the gap in some of the areas that are currently lacking in the pharmaceutical cold chain landscape?
Well, firstly, it's exchanges of information, expertise, and knowledge. Then comes the fact that if somebody has already tried it and made a success out of it, the other companies, the pharmaceutical and the biomed companies, will look at it as an example and will be more ready to take part or to try it out. The problem is who's going to try it first, and that's the first person to try it will be the hardest. Some of the trials at the moment embarked by the more, should I say, ambitious, the more dynamic companies have shown fruit, and we've seen this discussed in this morning's session. And that hopefully that gives the courage to the others to also get on board as soon as possible.
Thank you very much, Rodney.
Thank you.